Gas prices keep going up, yet when you go to the airport, parking lots are often half empty. So who is still traveling, and who is giving up? Across the United States, popular tourist spots are offering huge discounts to attract visitors. But despite this, hotels are seeing their lowest summer bookings in over 10 years. Airlines are cutting their routes at an alarming speed. So why do airports feel empty and quiet instead of busy and crowded? This is not just a usual slow season. Something serious is happening to U.S. tourism. Entire states are losing millions of dollars. Airports are becoming ghost towns. Airlines are pulling out or shutting down. Today we will reveal a list of airlines and routes that are disappearing, and why this is a big warning sign for the future of American travel. Number 10. Play Airlines. Iceland's budget carrier pulls out. Why would a low-cost airline suddenly stop flying one of the busiest and most profitable travel routes? Play Airlines, based in Iceland, shocked many when they announced they would leave the United States completely. They're stopping flights to New York, canceling routes to Boston, and even their Baltimore service will disappear soon. The company says this is because there are too many flights and not enough passengers in certain seasons. But, many people don't believe this explanation. Planes were flying less than 70% full. Fuel prices have tripled in just 8 months, making flights much more expensive. Also, Iceland itself is expecting a domestic recession, which means fewer Icelanders are traveling abroad. So why quit the huge North American market now, when airfares are at record highs? This move raises many questions. Who really benefits from this? Who is losing? And is this just a problem for Play Airlines, or a warning sign for all airlines flying across the Atlantic? Think about it and share your opinion in the comments. Number 9. Jetstar. Jetstar, a low-cost airline owned by the Qantas Group in Australia, has dropped its flights to Honolulu after nearly 20 years. This sudden exit surprises many, as it is not common for a long-standing route to vanish so fast. So, what caused a busy Pacific route to go from crowded to nearly empty in just 1 year? Well, fuel prices are rising, and the number of Australian travelers going abroad has dropped sharply. On top of that, political tensions between the United States and Pacific nations are growing, affecting tourism. Could this be the start of airlines pulling back from the Pacific region? Will more airlines follow Jetstar's lead? This situation is worth watching closely. Number 8. Silver Airways. U.S. regional carrier shuts down abruptly. Imagine being a passenger and suddenly finding out your airline has stopped flying, with no warning. That's what happened with Silver Airways, a small regional airline in the U.S. in the middle of summer when travel demand is usually high. Silver Airways filed for bankruptcy and completely shut down. This left passengers stranded and airports confused. Why did this happen? Maintenance problems caused many planes to sit unused. The airline owed tens of millions of dollars in unpaid fees. Passenger numbers were so low that many routes barely made money. What's worse, no investors wanted to save even part of the airline. This shows how weak regional air travel has become in the U.S. Smaller cities in Florida and the Caribbean that relied on Silver Airways now face the risk of losing all air service. Airports in Key West, Tallahassee, and Marsh Harbor may not see commercial flights for months, maybe even years. This shutdown affects many people, from baggage handlers to taxi drivers, hotel staff, and local businesses. Could Silver Airways collapse be a sign of more troubles coming for small airlines? Number 7. Norse Atlantic Airways, Norwegian budget carrier cuts. Key U.S. routes. Norse Atlantic Airways promised to shake up transatlantic flights between Europe and the U.S., but now it is quietly scaling back. 3 important U.S. routes disappeared from their winter schedule: London Gatwick to Las Vegas, Berlin to Miami, and Oslo to Miami. These were not small routes. They were meant to be big deals. The airline says these cuts are due to seasonal changes and resource shifts. But people inside the industry say the real reasons are low passenger numbers and rising fuel costs. On some routes, fewer than 60% of seats are sold. Fuel prices keep going up in U.S. dollars. Demand from European tourists visiting U.S. cities like Miami and Las Vegas is dropping. This hurts local economies. When international travelers stop coming, hotels lose business, tours get canceled, car rentals fall, and millions of dollars disappear from the local economy. Tour companies are trying to create new deals for winter, and airports are lowering their expected arrivals. Many visitors are now canceling or choosing other destinations. What will Norse do next? Will they stop flying to the US completely? Are other airlines watching this and thinking about doing the same? The coming winter will tell. Number 6. Air Canada. Canada's main airline cuts flights to the US. Air Canada surprised many by cutting flights between Toronto and Jacksonville during the busiest travel season. Cross-border travel between Canada and the US has fallen by almost 8% since January. Canadian travelers face long waits at US customs and growing frustrations. Also, the Canadian dollar is weak, pushing vacationers to choose cheaper trips in Canada or Europe instead of expensive US cities. This is worrying because Air Canada has been one of the most stable airlines in North America. How many more US cities will lose Air Canada flights before spring 2026? Florida tourism boards feel the pressure as Canadian snowbirds stay home. Hotels and beach towns that once welcomed many Canadians are now lowering prices and cutting staff early. Political tensions between Canada and the US over trade and visa rules also create uncertainty, which may be influencing these airline decisions. Number 5. Air Senegal, West African airline, disappears from the US market. Air Senegal's disappearance from the US market caught many by surprise. They spent millions to enter, but left quietly just 2 years later. Their important Dakar to New York route is suspended. Their presence at Baltimore-Washington International Airport has vanished without announcements. Travel agents in West Africa report many cancellations and delays. Airport staff in Senegal are being reassigned, and ground operations in U.S. cities are closing. How could a government-supported airline pull out so fast? This disconnect hurts thousands of diaspora families trying to visit loved ones. Is this just about business or something political? Rising airport fees and fuel costs in U.S. dollars may have scared the airline away. Baltimore's airport, which once served a large Senegalese community, now has empty ticket counters. Many travelers complain about delays in refunds, and businesses that serve these passengers are shutting down early. This shows how airline decisions affect entire communities. Number 4. Condor German leisure airline cuts back on U.S. flights. Condor, a German airline popular with leisure travelers, is quietly cutting flights to the U.S. Baltimore-Washington International Airport is no longer a destination. Ticket sales from mid-sized American cities have dropped sharply, even in summer. Planes fly with many empty seats. Where are German tourists going instead? Many are choosing Mediterranean destinations or staying home. The cost of jet fuel in U.S. dollars has risen nearly 15% this year. Maintenance problems in Frankfurt have grounded many Condor jets, causing delays. Also, inflation and economic worries have reduced Americans traveling to Europe. Hotels in Frankfurt report their fewest American guests since 2016. Condor's crews are shifting to Mediterranean routes. Other German airlines might soon do the same. American cities that depended on German tourists, like Baltimore, Portland, and Anchorage, are preparing for tough times. Hotels, travel agencies, and souvenir shops are all affected. Number 3. Allegiant Air U.S. budget airline leaves Baltimore Airport. Allegiant Air, a popular ultra-low-cost airline, is leaving Baltimore-Washington International Airport. Their final flight has already flown, and passengers now must travel 40 miles to Washington Dulles Airport. This causes inconvenience and extra costs. Airport workers who depended on Allegiant were suddenly laid off. Shops that thrived on their passengers are closing or reducing hours. The ultra-low-cost business model is under pressure. New federal rules have increased costs. Fuel prices keep rising. Many working-class passengers are flying less because they are squeezed by higher rents and debts. Is the budget airline model still viable? Or are we seeing the start of a larger collapse? Even worse, Allegiant left without a word. No goodbye, no apology, just silence. Travel agents continue to get calls from confused customers. Number 2. Condor Airlines. Small U.S. regional airline shrinks fast. Small-town airports are growing quieter while big airlines take over major routes. Condor Airlines, a regional carrier, is pulling out fast. Ticket prices have risen sharply, and passenger numbers have dropped. Airport fees have also increased, making many low-traffic routes unprofitable. Federal subsidies that helped regional airlines have dried up, leaving carriers like Condor struggling. Communities in Tupelo, Mississippi, Veterans Airport in Illinois, and Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia now face long drives to distant airports. Local hotels, rental car companies, and airport staff are all suffering. How long before these small airports close entirely? Number 1. WestJet, Canada's second-largest airline, cuts 9 U.S. routes. WestJet has suspended 9 U.S. routes right in the middle of the busy summer travel season. Calgary to New York LaGuardia, Vancouver to Austin, Edmonton to Minneapolis, all gone. Airport lounges once busy with WestJet passengers are now empty. Where are these Canadian travelers going now? Many southern U.S. cities that used to fill with Canadian snowbirds are preparing for their lowest winter visitor numbers in over a decade. Some tourism boards in Ontario and British Columbia have even stopped their fall